Meta shares falling today to their lowest level since March of 2020.
Meta Platforms announces laying off 13% of its workforce.
One of the hardest calls that I've had to make in the 18 years of running the company.
At one point, Facebook was the place for everyone. Almost everybody uses Facebook, and you've probably heard one too many stories about how the site brought people together. Then why did Mark have to change the name of his social platform? What was the emergency? The name change was actually changed to save the brand's reputation, so they named it Meta. But that also didn't work in their favor. It's another failure for Mark. You must have heard the term metaverse quite often. It's basically an online community that fosters interaction and personal development through shared experiences. Meta is the name given to this platform because the name Meta was near the phrase metaverse, and many were drawn to it. Meta, formerly known as Facebook, had its stock price plummet 26%, resulting in a $230 billion reduction in market value. This was the company's largest one-day wipeout in history. The stock price plunged after a poor earnings report in which CEO Mark Zuckerberg explained the company's efforts to move from social networking to the so-called meta of virtual reality. A corporate spokeswoman just reiterated the company's previous earnings report and declined to comment further. The user growth rate has peaked, implying that we've witnessed the end of Facebook's exponential user expansion. The company reported slight increases in new users across its family of apps, which includes Instagram, Messenger, and WhatsApp. However, compared to the third quarter, the primary Facebook social networking program lost almost 500,000 users in the fourth quarter. This is the first time the company's user base has fallen in its 18-year history, during which its entire survival has been dependent on its ability to attract new clients. As a result of the downturn, it became clear that the main app's popularity had peaked. Meta's quarterly user growth rate was likewise the slowest in at least 3 years. Meta executives have hinted at more growth opportunities, such as monetizing WhatsApp. WhatsApp is a messaging app that has failed to earn considerable revenue. Investors will now check to see if Meta's other apps, such as Instagram, have reached a user growth plateau. The next factor to consider is that, as a result of Apple upgrades, Meta is now severely limited. In the spring of 2016, Apple published an iOS update called App Tracking Transparency, which allowed iPhone users to control apps like Facebook to track their online browsing activities. As a result of these privacy safeguards, Meta's business has suffered and will almost definitely continue to suffer in the future. Since Facebook and other services are now required to get user authorization before collecting any personally identifiable information, many users have refused to enable any tracking of their behavior. Because Facebook extensively relies on user data to target adverts, this development could be detrimental to the company's economic line. An extra insult is that Facebook advertisers regard iPhone users as a far more valuable audience than Android app users. Smartphone users who use iPhones to browse the web are more likely to make a purchase after seeing an advertisement for a product or service on their smartphone. Meta anticipated that Apple's changes would result in a $10 billion revenue loss for its business next year. The company has expressed discontent with Apple's move, stating that they are hurtful to small businesses relying on social media advertising to acquire new customers. Meta investors recognize that Apple is unlikely to reverse its privacy changes, and that's why they're worried. Competitors, on the other hand, have benefited from Meta's issues. Google is quickly expanding its internet advertising market share. According to David Wenner, Meta's chief financial officer, as a result of Apple's recent revisions, marketers now have less insight into user patterns and have begun reallocating a portion of their ad expenditures to other platforms, Google in particular. During Google's recent earnings call, the firm claimed record sales, hailing the effectiveness of its e-commerce search advertising in particular. Meta was caught off guard by a similar trend in the fourth quarter of 2021. Google, unlike Meta, does not rely heavily on Apple for customer data. Mr. Wenner claims that Google has much more third-party data for measurement and optimization purposes than Meta's ad platform. Mr. Wenner also cited Google's agreement to serve as Apple's default search engine in Safari. This means that Google's search advertising is being seen in more places, boosting the amount of data collected for use by marketers. In the long run, this will be a huge issue for Meta, especially if more advertisers go to Google's search advertising services. Another major issue for Facebook is TikTok. Mr. Zuckerberg stated TikTok's fierce competition for more than a year. Nearly 1 billion people use the Chinese-backed app because its short video posts are easily shared on social media and are strangely addictive. Furthermore, in terms of popularity and exposure, it competes directly with Meta's Instagram. Meta copied TikTok's short video content feature by launching its own 90 seconds video feature called Reels. Today, Reels is the most engaging feature on Instagram. Unfortunately, despite its popularity, Reels doesn't generate as much revenue for Instagram as other services like Stories in the main feed. People are more inclined to scroll through video advertising, resulting in lesser income. This means that the more Instagram promotes Reels, the less money Instagram may make from its users. When Instagram Stories feature was launched, which was taken off from Snapchat several years ago, it didn't result in substantial revenues. However, as time passed, the product attracted more advertising income, and that is why Mark has similar expectations from Meta and is spending a huge amount for it. He's certain that the Meta, a concept in which people move between virtual and augmented reality worlds, is the future of the internet, and that's why he's willing to invest massively in it. By massive, we mean an amount exceeding $10 billion, and Zuckerberg intends to invest significantly more in the future. However, there's no evidence that this wager will be successful. In contrast to Facebook's move to mobile devices in 2012, mainstream acceptance of virtual reality has yet to occur. Augmented reality goggles are also months, if not years, away from mainstream use. Mr. Zuckerberg is essentially asking his employees, consumers, and investors to believe in him and his Meta's vision. That's a huge assignment for a project that may cost the company billions of dollars over several years and still never materialize at all. In the previous year, Meta invested more than $10 billion in its Reality Labs division, which includes its virtual reality Oculus Quest headgear and augmented reality technologies. This hugely contributed to a drop in the company's profits. One component of this was increasing the size of the team by 23%, which brought the total number of employees to 71,940. Wall Street saw a precipitous plunge in stock prices, with Meta, the parent company of Facebook, experiencing a decline of 26%. In the fourth quarter, Facebook Reality Labs had a loss of $3.3 billion, and for the entire year of 2021, the company lost more than $10 billion. The majority of industry professionals believe that the current trend of incurring losses will persist for some time, given the fact that the metaverse will not become widely used for several more years. Mark Zuckerberg is in a quandary right now, and his Meta empire appears to be crumbling. But he's still a smart guy who keeps an eye on his competition, so don't write him off just yet. Remember, it was critical for him to eliminate any possible competitors, which is why he paid $22 billion for WhatsApp and $1 billion for Instagram. So, will Zuckerberg and his Meta empire survive with all the mistakes Mark has committed so far, or will it disappear? What do you think? Do share your views in the comments section. And if you like this video, then please leave a like and subscribe to our channel for more amazing content. Thanks for watching.